a little bit of Mountain Blaze, even though it's not Monday. Normally I play on Mountain Blaze Mondays, but you know what? We'll make an exception today because I feel like playing this shizzle. And it's almost done updating. So look at that. Have you played Mountain Blade there in the darkness? Or do you know anything about it, I should say? Do you know what Mountain Blade is, or have you heard anything about it? Ooh, this could be a great moment. Do you like medieval games? What do you think of when I say okay, For Honor is like a medieval game to you? What other medieval games have you seen or heard of? Cheers. It's my last stab of the night, by the way. So let's make the most of it. Cheers, cheers. So, just from my perspective, Baldur's Gate is more of a fantasy game. Whereas I view a medieval game as something that is more historically accurate, that's focused more on like hand to hand combat. As opposed to, and this is just my perspective, I'm saying this because maybe, you think differently. Whereas like I feel like Baldur's Gate's kind of like a fantasy game because there's like magic and shit. Because you got to think of like when magic exists in a world, it just changes the dynamic of a sword fight. You know what I mean? So I love magic, but I don't like it in my worlds. Like when I play D&D, I like there to be magic because I don't understand it and it makes D&D interesting. But I really like um I like this classic like historical based like medieval shit. So cool. So Mountain Blade is kind of like a historical medieval game. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. How do I put this? Okay, imagine. Have you heard of like I know I'm gonna think of the game. Civilization or like there's like Crusader Kings, I think is another one. Think of all these different games where you get to like run a kingdom, right? But you only get to do so much. There's like Rome Total War. Are you familiar with that? Are you familiar with Rome Total War? Okay, so Rome Total War is interesting because it's pretty much like you're a strategist and you're controlling your army, but you're watching from the top down. So you're not in control of individual units or individual groups or individual characters. Mountain Blade is unique because it's the very rare experience where you get to play as your character, and your character is you or whoever you decide to make, and your character ages, and your character is alone in the world. But you can build relationships with other characters in the games based on your actions. You can get married. You can have kids. Eventually, you will die. And if you don't have a kid, you can't keep playing because you can't play as your heir, which is your kid, right? You also are in a world full of other countries, and all the countries are made up of clans, and all those clans are made up of lords, and those lords all have their own wishes and dreams and goals. So you're in this middle of this active world that plays out different every single time. Now the thing, yeah, it's amazing. The thing that makes it fun is the play style. You are no longer playing as just this omnipotent god king looking from the sky down during battles, right? You are playing as you. You have to go around from city to city and hand pick your troops and get them to join you. You have to pay them. So right now we're gonna start a fresh playthrough.
For 500 years, the Calradian Empire dominated the continent.
This shit is my favorite game. Just so you I got 4,000 hours in this
Its
game.
armies scattered foes before them. The strongholds of proud tribes
What I'll do then
crumbled
is I'm
beneath its
gonna
engines of war.
I'm gonna stream it like this, so you can hear the audio of the game.
To the wastes of the south. All was brought beneath the standard of their legions.
This is the history lesson on the
Brutal
world.
as the conquest was, the wise agreed that it brought peace.
So in this world,
The land,
there are multiple
now
cultures.
untroubled by
I'll let you watch
armies,
the cutscene
grew
and I'll explain.
rich. But empires, like men, grow old. Leaders lose a common cause.
I love this
Corruption
game.
spreads.
It's so real.
Old enemies learn the Empire's tricks.
And look at that,
And
the fucking
devise
Vikings
new
using a
ones
testado
of their
formation.
own.
And then the Mongols with their fucking horse
Until
archers.
one day, the bonds holding the Empire snap. Then comes the Civil War, pitting all against all. A time of hatred. A time of suffering.
Game is
But
phenomenal.
also, even in the worst hours, a time of courage and defiance.
Game's like 30, 40 bucks. Like, this is a solid indie game that's full-fledged, that like
As
you pay
new
full price for, but
leaders
it's very fun,
arise.
in my opinion.
From new
And
places
every person I've ever
and
shown
new
this game to
peoples,
is like super into it, and it has its own little community of history lovers that are like
To
super
turn
committed.
back
Like
the
every
tides
Saturday
of
they have a
destruction.
300-person battle that's one live only, and all real people.
and bring forth a new world.
Like, it is people from all over the world. It's like one of
From
my
the
favorite things in
ashes
gaming, to be
of
honest.
the
The fact that I have people that I game with. Like, I can talk to someone from like Scotland, or someone from Sweden, or someone from Germany, or someone from Italy, and be like, this is my perspectives as an American on history and what I've studied on my own and what I was taught. What do you think of that as a person from that place? And then they can genuinely be like, okay, like, I love this game too, and I know you love history, and, you know, there's this understanding of, like, you know, maybe someone's misinformed, maybe someone was miseducated. No one's hateful, everyone teaches each other. And you can have really awesome conversations where you learn from people, where it's like, holy shit, dude, like, I thought all these crazy things about your culture, but you know more about your culture because I'm respectful and, like, understand that you obviously took the time to learn about your culture, right? And then you can learn a lot. It's very cool. So in... Oh, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. My. It's a great opportunity. Dude, Mountain Blade has my favorite fan base of any game. So in the game, speaking of cultures, like I was talking about, there are 6. So the Vlandians are like the... How do I put it? So all the cultures are like stereotypes or like generalizations, right? So the Vlandians are kind of like the French or like the UK. Like, think of them as like the Normans. Like, the best way to describe it is we start with the Empire. The Empire is the Roman Empire. How well do you know your history? And it's okay if you don't, because you know how deep I need to go into this, you know. I just asked how well you know your history, so I know how deep I need to go into explaining things. Because I'm all about it, but I don't want to go too deep if you know. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna be in a middle ground. Cool. That's perfect. Okay, so Empire is Roman Empire, pretty much. So think about how the Roman Empire split into the Byzantine Empire later, and there was like this split between the 2 emperors and shit in the later empire. So like in this game, basically they split into a 3-way empire that became a civil war, and that's the end of the empire. But there are other cultures around them. At one point they ruled the entire world with their order and their formations and shit, but now they do not control the world anymore. Now the Sturgians are like your Danish invaders. They're like your Vikings, right? They live in the icy north. They're great with axes. They're great with their defensive and shielding. Their recruiting and upgrading infantry is 25% cheaper. Look at that. So yeah, they're cool. They're fun. Vlandians are like the French or like the British, right? They are like the traditional adventurers. They are like, Like their perks are 5% more renown from battles and 50% more income from serving a mercenaries. Like the Empire, for instance, was 20% less garrison. So like the Empire is better for like living in cities and building your city strength. The Sturgians have powerful infantry. The Vlandians gain more influence after battles. So like influence is a powerful tool in this game because the more influence you have, the more sway you have in political decisions. So if you're a badass and you're in battle and you kill 100 men in battle and you make all these great decisions, like there are moments in battle where you'll be like, oh my god, all the lords have gone down and I'm the last lord. And so you tell the fucking shield wall to pull back to a certain position, you tell the archers to hold back, you play defensively and you win the battle. You will gain renown for that because now you saved the day on that day. You know what I mean? Very realistic in that way. Which I love that shit. Now the Aserai, go on the other end of the spectrum, is like the Middle East. These guys are great for trading. They're great for building caravans because there's a whole economy in this game that's alive. And you can trade between every city. Every city produces different goods. Every city produces different textiles and mercantile goods. And you can transport them and make money. Exactly. And it becomes very fun because, for instance, you can cheese the system. Like my favorite thing to do is if you siege a city for long enough and you have a bunch of food to feed your army, once you finish sieging the city, all the people will be starving, and then you can feed them from the food from your army and replenish the stocks. And if you remember to do that, then the people won't rebel on you because they're happy that they're fed. Simple, but it's a fun little system. Now the Kuzites are the Mongols in every sense of the word. They live with their horses, they are horse archers, they are the most annoying class in the entire game because even when you are late game and you are amazing at this game, if you do not have horse archers, they will shit on you and you will lose. And I hate them, but I also love them. The Kuzites, they are the Mongols. Think of the Mongol horde with the horse archers and like Genghis Khan riding through just shooting you in the back. Like imagine you're a legionnaire and you think you're a badass and you have a shield wall. And then some dude rides past you at 15 miles per hour and you've never seen someone move that fast in your life, and you look to your left and you're already shooting an arrow in your head because they've been riding a horse since they were 5 years old, riding a sheep, shooting little sticks at each other as a game. That's how. Did you know that that's a game that kids play in their culture? So in Mongol culture, the way they would teach their archers to become powerful is they'd play a form of tag where they would basically shoot bows and arrows riding the backs of sheep as kids. And they would teach their kids to ride sheep, and it would teach them how to ride horses from their youngest ages. They were very deadly. Alright, and the Battanians are the last ones. And they are the mountain people. They are like the Celts, or the barbarians, or the Germanic tribes. Like they use two-handed long swords, and they fight with honor on foot in the woods. They're badass. Now, not many people stick it out for me to explain this far and explain all this, different clans, so I'm pretty hyped about it. So you get to pick which clan we are in, or which culture I am. I can play all of them. I've played this game a million times, so I want you to pick. Do I want to be a Battanian Celt warrior, a Mongol horse archer, an Aserai tradesman, a Vlandian adventurer, it's like a Frenchman or adventurer, a Sturgian Viking warrior, or a Roman Imperial legionnaire? You can think about it. Don't rush through it, I'm enjoying myself. Roman Imperial legionnaire was the last one. A Viking Sturgian warrior is the second one. A Vlandian, which is like a French duelist. Think of like a musketeer or like an adventurer, right? Aserai is like some Middle Eastern tradesman going from watering hole to watering hole, living in the south, living in the desert. The Kuzites are the horse archers who live in the Far East, and they are deadly. They're fun. The Battanians are on foot, and they use two-handed swords that do a lot of damage. They're all fun. I love all these classes. I'm not trying to sway you in one way or another. I've genuinely done a playthrough for all of them, and they're all fun in their own way. Like the Sturgians, you can do fucking badass shield walls. The Empire, you can take over a lot of the map quickly because they have good defensive abilities. Vlandians are kind of just fun. Like, I don't know. They have good cav is what it is, really. They have really heavy cav. But the Aserais have camels. and no one else has camels, right? So it's like, I don't know, they made a very well balanced game. Like, it's very hard to pick one because I love them all. I usually play Roman because I'm Italian. Fuck it, you know. But Kuzites are the Mongols, they're the horse archers. So I will spend my entire time on foot on horseback, pretty much. Which is good, but it's also bad. Because when you have to take cities and you push on foot into the city, it's hard to fight. Does that make sense? Like when you're sieging, it's harder to take the walls. It's a tough one. I love you. The Empire is my favorite choice. I'm almost disappointed because I always do the Empire, but I'm also happy with it because I'm the most familiar with it. I really want to do a modded playthrough because when the mods, they're fun. Now we have two options. You can help me create the character, or we can press randomize all until we choose the right character we want. Okay. It really doesn't get that goofy. It's pretty good at making badass warriors. Like, to be real, like, this game used to make goofy stuff, but after a few updates, it really just makes badass warriors. Like, when you put them in the armor, they look sick as fuck. Just remember, and this is where the game becomes really fucked up, genetics is a thing. Like, you want to have a big guy, because you want to be able to have kids that are also big, because that actually affects your power. Oh, he looks too much like me in real life. He looks dope. The blonde black dude. We're about it. Now, the best part, we get to choose his family heritage, and it turns him into a child. This is my favorite part of the whole game. It will generate a child version of him, and then it will generate parents. Okay, so you were born into a family of a landlord's retainer, urban merchants, freeholders, urban artisans, foresters, and urban vagabonds. They all give different perks, but I'm not going to tell you. You just pick one. Who are my parents? So we're basically picking my parents right now. And this determines my stats. But the stats are vaguely based on who my parents were. So I'm just going to tell you who they were, and we're going to just go that way. So were my parents a landlord's retainer, an urban merchant, a freeholder, which I think that was a family where small farmers is what a freeholder was. Urban artisans, foresters, and urban vagabond. Wow, so original, so funny. Look at you. I like vagabonds. Let's do it. Urban vagabonds. Damn. Okay, look at him. little blonde black dude. As a child, you were noted for your leadership skills, your brawn, your attention to detail, your aptitude for numbers, your way with people, or your skill with horses. So leadership, strength, attention to detail, aptitude for numbers. I'm gonna go all the way with people because I'm letting him pick this. Like all village children, you helped out in the fields. You also herded the sheep, or worked in the village smithy, or repaired projects. I usually pick gathered herbs in the wild because that, let's be real, that sounds like he's just smoking weed. Hunted small game. Yeah, let's do that one. I always pick that one. Gathered herbs in the wild is actually a good one because it also gives you medicine and scouting perks and endurance perks. And it's like endurance. It's all the good. nothing bad from that one. Okay. As a youngster, medicine is so important in this because you can just die after battle if you don't have a high enough medical skill, by the way. Yeah. As a youngster growing up in Calradia, war was never too far away. You trained with the cavalry, stood guard with the garrison, rode with the scouts, trained with the infantry, joined the skirmishers, or marched with the camp followers. Once again, these all give perks, but just pick one. Riding with the scouts. Alright. It gives me bow and arrow skills. This also determines what weapons I spawn with, by the way. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I kind of want to do it with the garrison because then it gives me a... You know what? You get to choose. This is your choice. No. Garrison? Because it gives me the bow and arrow as a thing. In an early game, that shit's life-saving. Before you set out for an adventure of life, your biggest achievement was you defeated an enemy in battle, you saved your village from a flood, you invested some land, or you invested some money in land, you hunted a dangerous animal, you had a famous escapade in town, or you treated people well. What am I known for? 10 skill levels, 1 focus point in polearm and crossbow, 1 attribute point in control, 1 to valor, 1 plus 5 to renown. And then now you get a randomly generated brother. Like many families in Calradia, your life was upended by war. Your home was ravaged by the passage of army after army. Eventually, you sold your property and set out with your father, mother, and brother and your 2 younger siblings to a new town you had heard of was safer. But you did not make it. Along the way, the inn at which you were staying was attacked by raiders. Your parents were slain, and your 2 youngest siblings were seized. But you and your brother survived because you were subdued by raiders. You drove them off with arrows. You rode off on a fast horse. You tricked the raiders, or you organized the travelers to break out. I like that one. That gives me 10 skill levels, 1 focus point on roguery and tactics, and 1 attribute to cunning. Okay, now the name. Purios? You tell me when, I'll randomize it. Acton. Gary Tops. So we're going to call him Gary. Okay, Gary it is. Okay, I have to change the difficulty because I'm stupid. And I accidentally sent it to the easiest difficulty, and that's no fun. I play on the hardest difficulty because I'm the greatest.
It's been 3 days now we've been tracking.
This is a
This
tutorial.
looks like an old training field for the legions.
Skip the
Are
tutorial.
you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm the
All
goat.
right then.
Fuck you.
One of the things.
I don't need to learn from you. Now we're gonna go to the settings. Okay, what's my family's last name? Athalatos? Fuck it, we'll leave it. Athalatos. Gary Athalatos. Gary Athi. Here, we'll do the one that looks like a weed leaf. And we'll make it shades of green. Yeah, you know it. Okay, now we're gonna zoom out. So these are all cities. These are cities, right? Zionica, Poros, Lycaron, Viscount, and these are all towns. These are all attached to various cities. Now, down here in the bottom right is my troop number. That's how much money I have. And down here is our clock. This is time progressing. Now, right now, time is frozen. Now, first thing I'm gonna do, because I am not a pussy, is go down to settings, options, gameplay. How do I set this to the hardest difficulty? What the fuck is this shit? Yeah, this shouldn't be that difficult to change. Campaign options, there we go. We're gonna go to realistic on everything. Enable battle death for all heroes. We'll do Iron Man mode because I'm a goat. Oh, I can't enable it now. Alright, so now we head to Tevia. And on our way to Tevia, we contemplate our life decisions. Nice to meet you there, Cody. How you doing? What are you playing? What are you playing in it? I mainly play hardcore mode. How many of them do you have? Nice. Yeah, I got to 4 and then I stopped. Nice. So right now I'm recruiting troops. See, I'm going from town to town. Cost me 80 coins to recruit these 4 dudes. And then every day my paycheck of how much I have to pay them, minus 18 every day for party expenses. Nortos of the Hand is over here, so it's always a good idea to talk to people in the world. So I'm going to follow him and chat with him. Our main goal at this point of the game is to find groups of bandits and hunt them down and kill them. Mountain Blade Bannerlord. There's a group of 9 bandits right there. Mountain Blade Bannerlord is the second game. Mountain Blade Warband is the first game.
Mess with us.
No, Mountain Blade
We'll
Bannerlord is the
sour
second
life
one.
dearly.
I don't even know. Like, all I know is that Warband and Bannerlord are really not that different, except for the graphics. Okay, so this is their first interaction. So I've come across these dudes in the map. You saw me chasing those bandits down, right? So now I'm talking to them. I have 10 dudes, they have 9 dudes. The ratio of, like, the fight, like how many people you have and how many people they have, will determine how this conversation goes. Also, the status of the individual you're talking to. If you're talking to the king of a country, it's going to go very different than a bunch of looters. You know what I mean? Mess with us and we'll sell our lives dearly. Well, I don't care. I'm going to kill you. It's a pretty straightforward conversation, but there's like conversations that go on for a while where like your dialogue options actually like matter.
Under my orders!
Okay, I have a bunch of peasants on my control. Nine peasants. That is probably true. All I know is I went to the AVN Porn Awards and I almost became a porn star and I don't want to be one, so I know what I can do. And when that's actually in your face, you have this choice in life where it's like, do I believe in myself? Do I think I can do other things? Or is doing porn my last resort of success? And if it really is your only option in life, then I guess go for it. But it wasn't for me. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like straight up, like as an artist, for me, it's like to do porn. It's like I feel like every piece of artwork I would do for the rest of my life would be tainted by the thought you have in your head about me from something else I did. You get what I mean? Lamau, 5 of those dudes died in that battle. Fuck them. Hmm? Hmm? Okay, we're gonna go to Lyceron. Yay, there's a bunch of dudes here to hire. We need to get to 20 troops. So we can actually talk to the leaders of different nations and ask them if we can become a mercenary for them. So maybe we should do that. We can also fight in tournaments in different cities. And also when we go to here, we can go to Enter Arena. There's a way if you wanted to fight at any point. Enter Arena. Talk to the Arena Master. And then do a practice fight. Here we go, let's do a practice fight. This is a first person fight right here. Let's do it. Oh shit. Which one? Fucking arrows. Go again. These practice fights are addicting, bro. I hit him in the head, actually. No! Bad. I want to win the practice fight. Whatever. Let's trade and sell some of these boots we got from those people we killed. Oh, you can also go to the tavern district. Oh, there's no one in the tavern. I guess I accidentally hired a guard. Whatever. I paid way too much money for that, but we have to make it worth it now. Let's go find some bandits. Fuck it. I fucked up. We have $150 to feed our troops because I'm an idiot. Oh, wait. Come back. We need your money, bandits. We need to kill you to sell your shoes. My party is starving and loses morale. God damn it. Well, I have to pay them only 44 a day. But I also have to buy food, which isn't much. It's not just about buying food, but you also have to buy a diverse amount of food. If you buy all the same food, they get disappointed. It lowers their morale. So we're gonna leave, and then we're gonna chase these fuckers down until we kill them.
Hello,
Yes.
traveller. Hope you brought your purse.
19
See,
versus
we're
21.
what you might call brigands, and I'm afraid we can't let you pass without paying us a bit of coin.
Oh, that's ridiculous. You think I'm gonna give you money? Fight me if you dare. Attack. Now remember, I can die in any of these
Under
battles.
my command!
But if you ever wanted to live in medieval times, this right here,
Everyone! Infantry, form a shield wall!
I just told them to form a shield wall.
Advance!
And now I told them to advance. Yes, my wonderful army. Do your duty. Your rocks will do nothing to me because I'm the goat. No, I lost the battle. And this is the worst part of the game, when you become the prisoner of brigands. At least I didn't die. Yeah, now I'm a prisoner. That's the downside. So I send my last troops attack, and he dies. And then I ride around with these prisoners for a while. Look at that. Now I'm in this party, getting dragged around like a fool. Like a loser. After a painful day of being dragged about as a prisoner, you find a chance and escape from your captors. Run away. Now I have 77 coins. Nothing to my name. I love it. Let's see if I can kill these 5 looters all by my lonesome.
Stop right there! This is a wrong.
Yeah, you and me. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see if I still got the sauce.
On my command!
I have like no health, so that's not a good sign. I have a bow and arrow, which is not working out very well. I'm the new Legolas. I'm hitting these fools, but they're also hitting me back, so that's not good. Let's put some distance between me and them. I'm gonna sip some wine before I die. Fuck it. My old character, if I switched to my other character, you would think my guy's a fucking badass. No, don't hit me with the fucking rocks, you piece of shit. You piece of fucking ass. I died. I didn't die, but I got knocked out. No, I'm prisoner again.